one. I am never going to get tired of this. Every time it says recording in progress, I'm like, I can no longer be the stupid girl who started way before the recording started. So you always get, oh, wait, hold on. Before I even go more about this, I should probably say, hi, everyone. I'm Winona. Oh, wait, I introduced myself. Hold on. High five to me. And you are in the women's cave or the writing class. One of the 4 podcasts this is going to end up on. So just know that you're listening to one of the AITL Media podcasts. That's how I'm going to do introductions from now on. Now back to recording. So excited because half of the time you would get this whole thing where I would start talking and then I would start telling the first joke and then that's when the show would start. And then I'd look so foolish because I'd have to go through the entire thing over again and then tell the same joke. Yeah, that it really never landed. And I tried to say it was a segue. It didn't work. Anyway, about that, how bad that exact thing landed. That's how the other jokes would land. But let's move on to what I do. Yeah, because there is no Jake. So, it's what I do. I write books with other authors, of course, because I'm the End I Thought lady. So, I had to write books about the End I Thought series. And I thought divorce was bad with other life lessons. And I thought being grown up was I can't believe I said the whole title of this. Good gracious, that's been years. And I thought being grown up was easy if only I were me, a memoir in verse. Widow's Web, Widow's Debts, and Foreign Coffee. Yep, that's 6. Are all audiobooks. You can catch the rest of our 17 books. That means 11 more of those things on www.andithoughtLadies.com because it's me and I do it like I'm like selling used trucks, so it has to be .com. But you're not here to hear about me or anything else that the ladies do. I think, of course, I could talk about myself all day. You're here to hear from our wonderful guests. Wonderful guests, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hello. My name's Austin Hare. I serve as the chapter for the Charleston chapter of the South Carolina's Writers Association, or SCWA. I love writing. Been writing fiction now for probably about 5 or 7 years. Short stories, novels, anything in between. And I do some poetry as well. So thank you for having me. I'm so happy to be here.
I'm sorry, you said poetry, and I am a poet.
I know.
Really? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Someone did their homework, or did I mention it? No, I think someone did their homework.
I did my homework. I was skimming. the links you sent me earlier.
Oh, really? That's awesome. No one ever does that for real. So what kind of poetry do you write? Because you sound like you're one of those poets that actually have real style to their poetry, not just free verse.
I'm glad I sound like that, but I definitely am not like that. I tend to be more, freestyle, just kind of writing my thoughts down. I've been trying to get them more structured and formulated. South Carolina Writers Association, we have a poetry meeting once a month where all the poets kind of meet together and critique and, discuss trends and things like that. And they've been giving me a lot of good feedback on how I can tweak certain poems to get them to fit into more classical structures and things like that. But I don't know. I just think it's so fascinating, the story you can tell in such a powerful and short statement.
I love poetry for that reason. And it's also quicker to write.
Yes, that is an added benefit.
Yeah. So you're like, I need to write a book. And you're like, I can do that in a couple of weeks. If someone's like, you need to write a novel. You're like, I can do that in 6 weeks. But so you write also fiction. What kind of fictions have you written? Have you been published, or are you just unpublished and waiting to be discovered?
Yeah, so I write short stories, but from the novel side, I usually write young adult to that new adult coming of age, kind of college age kind of time frame for the characters. I've been shopping it around for a little bit, but I'm unpublished, so looking to get out there and get my stories out there. I've had short stories appear in magazines and things like that. Usually in that same kind of demographic. So just plugging away, working on it, reviewing. I've been reviewing this recent draft for a while now, and I like the way it's coming along. So, yeah.
No, because you know me. I might know someone who could publish that for you.
Ah, well, I'll have to learn more about that.
Oh, yeah. When we're finished recording. Can you tell us a bit about the South Carolina Writers Association and how it has helped you in your writing journey?
Yeah, so I moved down to South Carolina a couple of years ago, like 3 years ago, and I had always been a writer, but I hadn't really been out in the community, whether it was in college or even before that. I kind of like to keep my works to myself. But when I got here, I really wanted to push myself, and that's kind of where the South Carolina Writers Association stepped in. And I've been just amazed at how the whole organization has handled like the pandemic situation in general. They're always providing resources and speakers and meetings, virtual recorded meetings, so you can do it at your own time, and giving you that kind of feedback that is so invaluable. Because that's one of the hardest things I think I struggled with, especially early on when I was starting to write, is putting my work out there and getting feedback. And that's something that the South Carolina Writers Association has helped with me so much. And learning how to receive kind of like that kind of critical thought in that feedback, without taking it too personally, is always a difficult thing for myself, at least. So that's been probably one of the biggest benefits. And the good friends and all that kind of stuff. And when we get to meet up in person, it's always fun. So
Oh, I can't wait. Are you guys meeting? Never mind. That's none of my business if y'all meeting up in person, because I got excited, then sad, but I didn't know how to feel about that one. Um, but so when you I'm sorry, I got distracted for a quick second. My co-host texted something over, and I was like, oh, okay, I can do this and then read the text. I can't do both. My brain's a little slow today.
No, you're fine.
So refocusing on you, Austin. So you started the Charleston chapter. How does one start a chapter and keep it running?
Yeah, so that has been an interesting predicament. So when I moved here, the Charleston chapter was kind of dormant. So they had been running, but during like the early 2010s, I think they kind of just trailed off. The group kind of splintered. There were smaller groups kind of everywhere. But I was a member of the SCWA, and I was still doing the virtual stuff. And they'd have lessons over in Columbia or Beaufort or other parts of the state, and I would call in and listen. And they reached out and asked if anyone would be interested. I'm like, I really kind of want to put myself out there. I think there's a lot of great writers in this city, whether they be poets, novelists, essays. There's just a lot of good writing coming out of Charleston. So I just volunteered, and the next thing I knew, we were in the middle of a pandemic, which has been still going on. And that's been one of the more difficult things, is how to build a community that is location based. We're the Charleston branch, but we can't really meet in person. So it's still very virtual. And I think it's been going really well. It's utilizing a lot of different tools, and making sure everyone is comfortable and that's clearly communicated. So we've been growing every month, which has been awesome, and getting more and more feedback from the community. So, yeah.
So, this comes to the moment occasionally, and since Jade is not here, the occasion has arrived. My narcissist question. How do you find speakers for the association meetings?
Yes.
Are you looking for an adorable girl with a red ribbon?
I'm sure it would be lovely to have you. It's very casual, our meeting. So normally what I do is I just reach out to people. So this Charleston poet laureate, we had him, I think 2 months ago. And he came and talked about his career, his poems, and some of his work as well. So yeah, I'm sure we can set something up, and have you come early on to one of our meetings and give us a little rundown. Usually we do that, just kind of break it up and get people engaged. And when someone in the group has a big announcement, like if they have a book, we give them that kind of time to talk about themselves, talk about their work, and all that kind of stuff. So
wow, I'm loving this idea. I think I like the Charleston chapter more than the chapter I'm in. And MWA, I'm sorry about that. This Charleston chapter sounds a lot of fun. Anyway, so where can people find out more information or come to the next association Charleston chapter meeting? I mean, yeah. I know you're trying to do local, but I mean, it's virtual, so why not give everyone a chance?
Yeah, so you can find out more information at the South Carolina's Writers Association website. I would just Google it. I don't have the URL off the top of my head. And then they have our chapter information and my contact information, and you guys can reach out there and reach out to me. And I think they also have the regular meeting times. We meet, I think, the last Tuesday every month. So
yeah, I was like, I know those times. Because, that's my job. The other thing I wanted to ask is, do you have any place where we can actually read about you and your writing?
Yeah, so I have a link tree, which kind of has just like everything I do. Let's see, it's linktreeaustinhair.com. So linktr.ee/AustinHair. So AUSTINHEHIR, which is how you pronounce my name. I know it's a little weird looking, but.
Thank you so much, Austin. It has been an absolute pleasure to chat with you today. And I can't believe I said that so professionally. It's making me sad on the inside. I'm like, I feel like I'm 50 now.
No, thank you for having me, Winona. It's been awesome. And keep doing this great stuff.
I definitely will try. So I'm going to wrap us up. And it feels so weird because I keep saying us, like Jade is just right here and she's not. So I'm missing Jade. That's why I said us. So you can find out everything that your ladies are up to and a few things that we wish we hadn't put online. And when we say that, we actually mean that, because I'm still trying to get the things I wish I hadn't said offline. And they're on our website at www.andithoughtLadies.com. When you go there, go down to the bottom of the page and you can see the charities that we proudly support. You can also support them, and we thank you in advance for lending them support. Dang, I need to find a thesaurus to figure out another word for support. Saying it 3 times is just, it feels unwriter-like. Lastly, remember that wisdom is all around you if you're open to finding it and accepting it. So peace and love, you guys, from Winona and the missing Jade.